Is that all you got?
What's good, everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Shadicstick dropping some hot faraga on this mic. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield, and yes, again, your boy is back dropping that hot faraga. But up until now, I've made a few videos on Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I've given my impressions based off of the gameplay and screenshots and everything we've gotten from Game Freak. On top of, some things that people have said who have gotten to play the game via demos at events. My outlook then was that the game looked disappointing, and now it still looks disappointing to me. And I'll go over that later in the video. While I have some negative outlooks on the games, I haven't really given my overall outlook on the games, which I think I should do now, and basically I'll be going over all the positives I think the game has going for it and all the negatives. In my previous videos on the game, I didn't detail the positives the game had, and I think that's why I got so much backlash. Even I can admit that I wasn't giving the game much of a fair shake in that regard. So let's go over the positives now. One of the things that I really like in the new games is that Pokemon are seeable in the overall like in Let's Go. That's actually one of the best mechanics I think was implemented into Let's Go. And to see it here now is actually really great. I also think a lot of the new Pokemon designs look really, really good. And no, I'm not Sabo or Rookie Gang, I'm Score Bunny Gang. Sorry. Another reason is Toby Fox. If you didn't get that, then too bad for you. Also like the inclusions of things like raid battles is something that the Pokemon series really needed, and I think it needed it to basically have some type of PvE element in the games that I think the series has always been missing. Also like that we have, an online ranked match system. On top of that, Move the Leader and Tutor are built into the Pokemon centers, which is something that I've really wanted in the series. And now they're just implemented as a basic function in every single Pokemon Center, which is great. I also like that some of the less popular Pokemon like Farfetch'd are getting revamps, in the way that, we're getting, instead of getting Farfetch'd, we're getting Surfetch'd. I just overall really like the Pokemon designs, the character designs, and the aesthetic of the world. I also like that always on experience share is there. While you can turn it off, I think you're stupid for turning it off. So what are the negatives? I just think the graphics are bad. While yes, graphics aren't everything, they do matter. I just think that it's unacceptable for the first core AAA Pokemon entry to look like this, because it is the highest grossing media franchise in the world. Nothing else is touching this. So for Pokemon to look like this is really a shame. On top of that, for there to be no national decks, it's kind of ridiculous. And I wouldn't have a problem with this if it weren't obvious that they were using 3DS models and cookie cutter animations, but they are. So there's no feasible excuse for this to not be in the game. It's not so much that I need a national dex in a Pokemon game. I mean, obviously I go back and play older Pokemon games, but for it to not be here when it's been such a staple in the series, and you can tell that they haven't taken any leaps and bounds with the Pokemon models because they're all the same from the 3DS outside of the newer Pokemon and newer Pokemon forms, again, it's kind of ridiculous. The next thing is the removal of Mega Evolution and Z-moves, and I just don't think they should have been removed. And I'll go into a little more depth in a second. But Mega Evolution just basically did what Gigantamax does, but better. And Z-moves made some Pokemon stand out and feel more unique. I just kind of liked the idea of Z-moves, because even regular standard moves could be buffed. So I just kind of thought it was unnecessary for them to remove Z-moves. Like, what was the point? I also want to know why they're pandering to the Kanto region again. Out of the 8 confirmed Gigantamax forms, so far 5 of them are Kanto Pokemon. 2 of these evolution lines obtained Alolan forms, and one of them had two Mega Evolutions, that being Charizard. And Eevee got a new evolution in Kalos. So what was the point of giving these Pokemon Gigantamax forms? They could have did something with Pokemon from, like, say for instance, Sinnoh. Sinnoh gets no love out here, come on. It just feels like they are removing things just for the sake of adding them back later to make it look like they added more to the game when in reality, they've just added something they took away. Say for instance, I give you a plate with macaroni on it. But before I give you the plate, I scoop out half of the macaroni and then I give you the plate, even though you're used to having the full plate of macaroni. And then I give you the rest of the macaroni that I scooped out. In theory, yes, I've given you more macaroni, but you were used to having that more macaroni last time. And on top of having more macaroni, I didn't really add anything of substance. I didn't add to your experience from beforehand. I know that's like a really simple analogy, but that's what it's like. They're not giving us the full experience. I also feel like some of my positives should be expected in a JRPG, especially a turn-based one in 2019 and 2020. I mean, experience share is something that is common in every other turn-based JRPG I've played. You know, you expect your party members to level up with you. You don't expect to have them in battle necessarily for the entire team to level up. Now, in some games, it's pick or choose, but even then, you have more than like one or two team members out at the same time. It's just kind of ridiculous that Pokemon didn't think this was a good idea to add in, as a basic feature until now. Yes, they've had the always on experience sharing stuff, or they've had the experience sharing stuff like in Gen 7 and Gen 6, where they were like, oh, your Pokemon get half of the experience or whatever. You can have it on or off or whatever. But it's the fact that they were making a big deal of it, basically, that I don't like. It's just something that I feel like should be expected. So the title of this video is that I'm not getting Sword and Shield. Why am I not getting it at least on day one? Well, I'm gonna wait for reviews, obviously, to see if the game is actually genuinely good and genuinely a step up from previous Pokemon experiences. But the longer answer is, I just feel like for the first core AAA console Pokemon game is extremely underwhelming, and it isn't gonna give me the $60 experience I would want. That's me personally. I just think fundamentally it will be a solid game considering how formulaic the Pokemon series is. Again, it's just a formula. They toss out some new Pokemon, they give you some gyms to run through, you get to the Elite Four. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bop bap. You're good. But it just doesn't feel like it's pushing any boundaries, and it just feels really lazy for an entry into a series at this caliber. Again, this is the highest grossing media franchise on the planet. There's just no reason why I shouldn't expect the things I expect from the team, from the development team, from the company making the game. Whenever I look at a new Pokemon game, I always go back to Black and White, because that's really the first Pokemon game I noticed that tried to push the series to be bigger and better than it was. It was the first time where I feel like the Pokemon games took themselves more seriously. And while I enjoy the 6th and 7th gen games, I didn't think we were going to get another experience like Pokemon Black and White, where the game series took itself so seriously until we got a Pokemon console game. But it looks like I'll have to wait till Generation 9 for that to happen. But guys, tell me what you think about all this in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are there more points to be made for either side here? I just am not going to be picking up the game day one at least. Maybe I'll pick up the game if it's really good. I don't want to be one of those people who's like, I'm never going to pick up the game, because I'm gonna eventually get it. It's Pokemon. I love the Pokemon series, and I'm probably not going to get it day one or even probably week 1 or 2. I'm gonna wait till the hype dies out and wait till people's genuine opinions can help me decide if I should buy the game or not. Because while at the end of the day it's what I believe about the game, I don't want to make an uninformed purchase. Again, the game doesn't look like it's offering much in terms of gameplay, graphics, just anything really outside of music, because again, Toby Fox, remember, Toby Fox. But again, that's just me. This has been your man Shadicstick. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video out with your friends. Subscribe to, the podcast channel. Links will be down in the description. Another episode should be coming out soon, and I should have some videos coming out about anime soon. Whoa! On that channel though. Also, make sure you follow your boy on Twitter. He tries to make the funny jokes sometime on there. Most of the time it's not funny, but it'll help you stay up to date with me and everything I do. And join the Discord if you want to chat with me. Remember, Hot Faraga turns to Cold Bazaga. Make sure you chill out with some of my other videos. Peace. Kiss, kiss.